For some reason, it seems like nowadays DC can't make a decent video game to save their life. I mean, we've had terrible games like Gotham Knights, The Suicide Squad, and a cancelled Wonder Woman game that I was hoping to play. And to me, this doesn't even make sense, because if you were to ask me about like 15 years ago, DC was on top when it comes to video games. I had the Arkham series, and that game franchise alone put DC on top, because Marvel really didn't have that many games when it comes to like superheroes. They had Spider-Man 2 and they had some others, but for the most part I think we can all agree that DC was on top. But nowadays it seems like that's not the case. It seems like that DC doesn't know which games to make other than Batman. From all of the characters that DC owns, it seems like they just are incapable of making a game that's not Batman. And that's what this video is going to be about today. I'm going to be suggesting which DC characters need their own video game. I've tried to include characters that we all want a game for, and I've tried to throw in some curveballs. But if you do like this type of content, then please like, subscribe for more. I post once a week, and if you like superhero stuff, you like anime, if you like animated movies, this is the place for you. So like I said before, Wonder Woman got her game cancelled for some unknown reason. And it's a shame, because Wonder Woman is a character that needs more representation when it comes to other forms of media. Wonder Woman is the only character out of the Trinity to never have an animated series. She's the only character to only have one live action appearance in movies.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
It seems like DC doesn't know how to handle Wonder Woman as a character when it comes to other forms of media. And I believe that this game would have put respect on Wonder Woman's name. I feel like the reason why we all want a Wonder Woman game is because, unlike Superman, where you could say it's hard to make a game based around him and his environment, Wonder Woman doesn't have that problem. First of all, the whole game could just be set on Themyscira, and instead of her fighting regular people, regular humans, she's fighting Greek creatures, she's fighting gods, she's fighting Zeus, Ares. It literally should be like God of War from 2018. That's how I imagine a Wonder Woman game. And from the concept art that we saw from the Wonder Woman game, it looks like that was going to be the main focus, which I love. And also, a Wonder Woman game would do such amazing things for her rogues gallery. Like, people would know who Giganta is, they would find out who, Ares is, Cheetah. And again, I'm imagining the combat to be something similar to God of War, where Wonder Woman, she has a sword and shield, she has a lasso, she has her bracelets, and it would be so cool that throughout the game you can like upgrade certain things, like upgrading Wonder Woman's sword, or not even upgrading her gear. You could just make it so that she's upgrading her abilities. And you know what, they could even do something fun with it, like when Wonder Woman needs to fast travel, she uses her invisible jet. I think that would be a cool twist. Similar to how like Spider-Man in the Insomniac games, he catches the subway. She could do the same thing with her invisible jet. As for the story, I think a Wonder Woman game just set on Themyscira would just be good enough. We don't need Wonder Woman going into like the real world essentially. She can stay on Themyscira and the whole game just fighting gods and mythological creatures. Again, God of War gave them the blueprint on how it should be done. Wonder Woman definitely needs her own video game. I don't know why it's taken them so long to do. You men are not going to tell me that a Green Lantern video game wouldn't be sick. First of all, just like how Insomnia has their Spider-Man where you play as Miles Morales and Peter Parker, how cool would it be, the start of the franchise of the Green Lantern game, you play as Hal Jordan, and throughout the series of games, you play John Stewart, you play Simon Baz, you play Jessica Cruz, you play Guy Gardner, you play all of the Green Lanterns throughout the comics. I think that would be such a cool idea for a Green Lantern game. Because one of the most challenging things when it comes to Green Lantern is that people have different relations to different lanterns. Like, some people might like Hal Jordan more than they like John Stewart, and vice versa. So in order to get rid of that problem, you could just introduce them as the games go on. And again, just like Wonder Woman, I think a Green Lantern game should be set in the proper environment. So Green Lantern should be set in space. They should be set in space, and we should be going after yellow lanterns, red lanterns, orange lanterns. And I think that eventually the whole gaming franchise should lead up to some type of Green Lantern war, where all of the cores are fighting each other. And in terms of them making Green Lantern constructs, like creative, I don't think that should be a problem. I really think if you just look at the comics and see what they do and take from that, you can incorporate the combat system to be so dynamic and so creative. That's one of the things that we all love about Green Lantern, is that there is no limit to his power. Whatever they think of, they can make. And that just makes a video game for them more interesting. The way that I think that the Green Lantern game should approach its world building is similar to how Lego Batman 3 did it. If you guys didn't know, Lego Batman 3, they have these like planets that you can visit, and I think it would be such a cool idea to do that with Green Lantern. But obviously don't make it Lego. You could have Oa be the home base of the Green Lanterns, obviously, and throughout the game you travel to different planets for the DC universe, and you could even meet DC characters that are not really associated with Green Lantern especially, because let's not forget, Green Lanterns are like space cops. They patrol the universe, making sure everything's good. So I think that would be a cool idea for Green Lantern game to approach his world building. And if they really want to go all out, it'd be such a cool idea to have a spin-off game where you play as the different Lantern Corps. A Yellow Lantern game, a Red Lantern, maybe even a Blue Lantern game. Tell me that you guys wouldn't want to see that. We all want a Flash game. I don't want to hear the excuse that a Flash game can't be made because he's too fast and how can the player keep up with a character like that. Sonic has existed for like 30 years at this point. They've managed to make games about him pretty entertaining, so I really think that they can make a game with the Flash. The problem when it comes to characters like Flash and Superman is that how do you make a game entertaining when you have these OP characters? And in my opinion, when it comes to the Flash, you shouldn't make him so overpowered. Like, I understand we all want to go super fast where time slows down, but I think at the start of the game, you should be level 0. You shouldn't be able to go super duper fast to the point where you stop time and you're in slow motion. I still think that there should be stakes in the game, and I believe that's possible. When characters like Superman and Flash, they get their powers, there's a learning curve to it. They don't immediately, out of the gate, become super overpowered and they're time traveling and no one can touch them. In terms of the Flash's villains and who should be the main villain, I mean, come on, it has to be Reverse Flash. That's what the game should lead up to. And just like Spider-Man and Wolverine, we should see the Flash's rogues gallery, like Gorilla Grodd, Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Reverse Flash, and a bunch of others that we need in this game. They all don't have to be boss battles, but like there could be side missions that you have to take care of, or something like that. Now, in terms of picking our main Flash, should it be Barry Allen or should it be Wally West? And in my opinion, I think it should be Barry Allen. I think this makes the sense logically. And again, just like with Spider-Man and Green Lantern, you should be able to pick which Flash you should be able to play. In terms of the combat, how the Flash should fight, I think they can get really creative with his powers. The Flash doesn't only just move fast, but he can phase through walls, make tornadoes with his hands because of how fast he moves them. He can make electricity. When it comes to the combat system in the Flash game, they can go all out. They can get really creative with it. So yeah, the Flash deserves his own game, man. We need a Flash game. Batman Beyond. Now, to be fair, I am kind of sick and tired of getting only Batman games, but in this case, I think it's something different because Batman Beyond has been kind of pushed to the side for no reason, and I don't know why. Do you guys remember that concept art that got shown of us from the people who made the Into the Spider-Verse movies? And they said that they wanted to make a Batman Beyond animated movie. And for some reason, Warner Bros. And DC, they said, no. Terry McGinnis is such a cool character. Like, he is to me what Miles Morales is to like Spider-Man, and if that makes sense. Like, he's a new Batman for a new generation. Like, I grew up watching the Batman Beyond cartoon, and that cartoon was so sick. Putting that world into a video game would be legendary. It's not just going to be Bruce Wayne, and we're going to have the standard gliding and standard Batman gadgets. No, we're going to have futuristic gadgets. We're going to have flying bat suits. We're going to be in the future. Could you just imagine a futuristic Gotham? And it would be such a cool idea to put a spin on all of the villains that Batman has faced, like, but with a futuristic twist to it. Like, imagine a futuristic Killer Croc and how that would look. A futuristic Harley Quinn, a Joker, a Two-Face, a Scarecrow. You can't tell me that wouldn't be sick. And you could even do a nice thing where when Batman Beyond is flying, it's like the Anthem game, where if you've seen that game, they fly similar to how Batman Beyond flies. All you have to do is just incorporate that into how Batman Beyond would fly. And again, it would just do wonders for Terry McGinnis's character. Because like I said, we haven't seen him in ages, like outside of the comics. I feel like everyone on the internet has been crying about why we're not getting a Superman game. And I'm one of them. Warner Brothers and DC, why haven't we not got a Superman game? Like, at this point, it's just kind of ridiculous. I understand where people come from when they say it would be hard to make a Superman game, but in my opinion, I think that those people are not creative enough to think about it. We all know that Superman's overpowered, but if you get a creative enough team to put something together, I'm sure that they can find a way to make a Superman game enjoyable whilst being challenging and not limiting the character with what he can do. There's been countless of fan-made Superman games and they look entertaining. All you have to do is just get a creative team to make it enjoyable to play and not boring. The main problem that I hear when people say that they can't make a Superman game is that they say, who is he going to fight? He can't fight regular people. And in my opinion, I really think that these people don't know Superman. Obviously, he should be fighting characters that are on his level. Fighting characters like General Zod, Brainiac, Darkseid, Doomsday. Obviously, you would lead up to those characters, but even Bizarro, I believe that it can be done. I don't think it's that hard to make a Superman game. Or even just try and make a Superman game, because I think the last standalone Superman game was like from 2006. That's like 20 years ago. I think it's time that we give this character a chance to be in his own game. It might be challenging to do, but I believe it can be done. But that's it for this video. If you did like it, please comment, like, subscribe. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram, and I hope you have a good day.